Welcome to Fuel for Life with me, Cindi Stickle, creating your healthy lifestyle with ease. This podcast explores nutrition and how it affects your mental and physical well-being, and it is including tips on how you can create the lifestyle you and your family deserve. Are you ready to learn how you and your family can be healthier, happier, and living your best life? Then you are in the right place. Hey everybody, welcome to Fuel for Life podcast. On this first real episode, I wanted to introduce myself and share my background with those of you that don't know me. I'm Cindi. I am a holistic nutritionist and a wellness coach. I focus on clean eating. I feel that everybody deserves safe food, and that means like no toxins and chemicals in our food. And how I got to that point was like 25 years ago, I had gestational diabetes with my first daughter. And then, of course, I had it with my second daughter 2 years later. So I was now at risk of being pre-diabetic. So I was like, yeah, whatever. And I just ate what I used to eat. But I slowly started to notice that breads, especially white bread, was really making me feel ill. Living on the East Coast in New Jersey, New York is famous for its bagels. And so we'd eat bagels. I'd eat a whole one, and it just made me feel really tired within about a half an hour. So I cut down to half a bagel, and I still felt terrible. So I realized that I had to cut out a lot of the unhealthy carbs, or what people call bad carbs. The unhealthy carbs, because the white flour and white sugar are just so bad for your body because they just turn into more sugar, and it helps people become insulin resistant. So that's why a lot of people are now being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. So that was over 20 years ago that all was taking place. And then I slowly was introduced to GMOs, which is genetically modified organisms, through friends of mine on Facebook. And then in 2011, I went back to grad school to get my master's degree in environmental studies. And one class that I took was on food safety. And that was an eye-opener. I could not believe how the United States handles their food for the entire country. Our government doesn't run it. It's lobbyists for the major corporations. Mostly it was Monsanto before Bayer bought them. And they wanted to turn all of our food into genetically modified food. And you really can't believe the lie of, because we would have less pests and it would grow more. No, because they're not even rotating the crops, and that is causing poor crops. The soil is the main place where a lot of nutrients come from. And when you just keep replanting, you have monocrops. You keep replanting everything in the same crop, you're losing the nutrients in the food on top of the GMOs in there. So I will be doing another episode completely on genetically modified organisms, but that is where a lot of my interest got piqued, taking that class in grad school. And then about 4 years ago, my husband got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and he didn't know he had it for probably about a year. I had already started making all my food from scratch, and including like ketchup, because my kids were always eating ketchup on everything. And there's a lot of sugar in ketchup, so I made my own. I was making my own pasta sauce. cooking everything from scratch. My husband didn't want to eat any of that, or if he did, but then his proportions were way bigger, and then like the ice cream and things like that. So when he got diagnosed, he finally was listening to me. I took him shopping to show him what the carbs were on everything that he ate that was already prepackaged. And it was very eye-opening for him. And a lot of people don't realize about the hidden carbs, the hidden sugar, and the hidden chemicals that are in food until you actually read the label. So I'll also have another episode on here about reading labels. But yeah, so, and then he started getting better. He cut his medicine in half. He works out every day, which he always did anyway. And he's improved his diet. He still eats stuff that he likes. He still has his ice cream, but he has it in a much smaller bowl instead of, a huge bowl. And he just watches his carbs more. But he still eats everything that he likes. I make homemade meatballs now instead of buying them in the store with turkey meat and things like that. So that's basically, in a quick 5 minutes, my background. It went from my own health. I could tell that the white flour did not do well in my body. And then learning about GMOs, and then going to grad school and learning even more, that just got me on top of my soapbox, and I haven't gotten off since. And just because the chemicals in all our food, it's bad for us, but it's worse for kids. And the problem is that all the processed food and the junk food that kids eat has GMO corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, anything that's GMO. Soy is GMO, and soy is really not that good for you at all, despite what some people say. It's an endocrine disruptor. It causes more problems than it helps. But kids have the worst reaction to a lot of these. And it's not something that you see right away, and it just builds up in their body, and then it just deteriorates their bodies. And it comes out in different ways. Like a lot of kids, they can have an allergy to certain foods, but it's through not like a rash or something where they like break out in hives. It's their mental health. They're mad. They're angry. The ADHD, that is totally fixable by diet, except for the kids that are born with it. Because there are kids that are born with it, but diet will still help cut back on the hyperness, because it's red dye number 40 and other dyes in foods. Red meat has dye in it, in case you didn't know. We'll cover that too, because I'm vegan, so I eat very, very, very little meat. I'm like 90% vegan. So nutrition plays a big part in not only our physical health, but our mental health too, especially kids, because they don't know what's happening to them, and then they're just angry and they are aggressive, and a lot of it is diet related. So this podcast is going to be about how nutrition fits into your whole life and how it affects it. It affects every part, every system in your body. Okay, from the skin to your brain. There's connection to Alzheimer's with nutrition, and things like that. So it's not just like high blood pressure, heart attack, things like that. It gets deeper into it. So I'm going to be covering that too. So I just wanted to welcome you and hope that you really get a lot out of this podcast. And I wanted to give you my background of my, how I got to where I am. I'm also a teacher, a middle school teacher. So I see how kids, their diet, what they eat for lunch, and how it affects their classroom behavior. Okay, so, and a mom. So, I see a lot of it. But I just wanted to welcome you here. And please reach out to me, email me, go to my website. You can contact me. And I really do hope you enjoy this podcast and get a lot out of it. See you later.